Hi. Today I want to talk a little bit about Desert Mother and how she is. So Desert Mother is about boundaries. So she's about the ways that we decide what we can and can't do. So Desert Mother dovetails with a bunch of really tough stuff sometimes. Senses of obligation, senses of what we should and shouldn't do, the roles we play with our families, well, in our case, families, but the roles we play in general, and how we prioritize all of that stuff. So Desert Mother can feel like prickly territory, right? So even though we can be in a place with Desert Mother where part of what our boundaries are about is owning things for ourselves and taking care of things for ourselves. And that sometimes what we as an individual need doesn't feel in alignment with what we think we should do or what someone else is expecting us to do. And so Desert is just full of prickly things sometimes. And the prickliness, I think the point I want to make here is that the prickliness doesn't mean that it's wrong or that we shouldn't be doing it, right? So a lot of times I think we think of boundaries, like we being some giant collective amorphous we, as like the ways that we make ourselves comfortable or the ways that we get rid of the things that bother us, or, we say no to the things we don't want. And that's part of it. And the other part about Desert and boundaries is about claiming the things that we do want and about claiming what's important to us and what we need and what we desire and what we require. And so Desert Mother doesn't always feel like fantastic territory, right? Things feel super bright. They're super illuminated. They're like overly intense sometimes. We need to hide in the cracks and in the shade for a while during the intensity of it. And all of those things, none of those things are good or bad. They just are. They are ways that we can navigate this territory, right? So sometimes we can look to the landscape and we can see, like, how do animals or plants in that territory navigate the intensity, the prickliness, the scarcity of resources, right? And then how are they ready when the rains come to take advantage of the resources that they have? So Desert Mother is some really interesting territory I return to over and over and over. I will probably in this lifetime never be done with Desert Mother's lessons and wisdoms and offerings. And so I just kind of wanted to offer that up, is that not only Desert Mother, some, noticings about Desert Mother, but also the concept that, like nature, we're just never finished. There's no magic apex. There's no complete space where now all of a sudden I am a complete human being and all is done and I don't have to do any more work or whatever. We are like nature, sort of in this constant flux and rotation and cycle of humanity, and the ways that we have capacity and don't, and the ways that we have our skills and tools and we don't, and it changes from day to day. And so these landscapes are places to revisit, places to come back to, places we go on vacation again, and places we find ourselves sort of, we can just find ourselves there after we wander for a little bit without, when we've kind of taken a break from, being self-directed, right? Because we do sometimes, there's not always capacity for, 100% reflection and perfect communication and stuff all the time. And Desert Mother is not about achieving some kind of perfection. She's about knowing your capacity, doing the best that you can, and holding true to the values and the requirements that you have that could be changing all the time. And so we're kind of never done. So anyway, those are a few of my pertinent or, current thoughts on Desert Mother these days and the ways that she's showing up for me. Thanks.